Fans, we're very excited to start a new chapter here at D1 Coaches Pod. It is our first corporate sponsor, Protect. It is a hydration liquid supplement. We know them, awesome leadership, local company here in Fort Worth, and they're getting really big into sports like boxing and tennis, obviously sports that require a lot of hydration.
No, and the best part of it is that it's liquid, so it's really easy to dissolve, and they have different flavors. They have a hydration product, immunity product, energy. I used it before my workout. It was pretty good, and coaching after, and the rest. So this one winds you down, which is pretty good. All natural ingredients, and yeah, we're loving the product so far, and thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hello, fans, and welcome back to the D1 Coaches Pod. We're excited to be here again with you all, bringing you a new guest that is a very special person that is here with us. David, tell us who we got here today.
Hello, listeners. David Roditi here, TCU men's tennis coach. Yeah, we're really excited to have the King Dion, Noah Christian Dion Myers. He's got a lot of names. He goes by Noah, better known as King Dion in the social media world of Instagram. He is an entrepreneur, an influencer, a tennis player, a man of faith. We'll talk about that, Noah. From Houston originally, Noah, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is great. Now, I remember you coming into my office a couple of years ago. You're entering your junior year at TCU, and I remember you coming in, introducing yourself, and right away made an impression. And it's been fun following your journey. It's entertaining. It's great. There's a great story there. We'll dive into that. So first of all, Noah, tell us who's Noah Christian Dion Myers.
Yeah, for sure. Noah Christian Dion Myers is just a person that's seeking after God's own heart. I grew up in the tennis space like most other people, but a little bit later. Started probably around the age of 8 to 10, just doing summer camps where it's like you read a book and you play tennis for an hour, and then that's your summer, and you do that for a few weeks. And I liked it. I enjoyed it. I played so many more other sports. Played volleyball, basketball, whatever you can think of, water polo, track, cross country. I did every sport. But the one thing that stuck out about tennis is it was the hardest. It was one that I wasn't naturally like great at. And so I wanted that challenge. I wanted to push myself, and I continued pursuing it. My cousin picked up tennis a year before I did. He's in Cincinnati, and I wanted to play tennis with him. He didn't want to play tennis with me, sadly. And it kind of gave me motivation. Every time I went to summer camp in Cincinnati, I just wanted to get better. And then going into my freshman year, I wanted to get the varsity team. I wanted to play my cousin Chase, and 3 years down the line, I ended up playing him, and I ended up winning. So it's amazing, and that sparked the fire of wanting to compete.
I bet that felt pretty good. Finally, with your cousin.
Yeah.
Maybe for you, not for him.
Yeah.
It felt good. And then I tried out for a varsity team. I didn't make it. I was the top seed for the JV, and from there, I just grinded. I didn't have a lot of resources. I didn't have coaching. I just had the desire of wanting to get better. My dad kind of gave me a little more inspiration when he say, you can do it. You can do it. He didn't obviously have the resources nor the knowledge in the tennis aspect to help me there. And so a lot of the confidence may have been delusional at the time, but just having that mindset of wanting to be the best of what I'm doing gave me a lot more confidence to put myself out there. I made the varsity team sophomore year. I was maybe like 7th seed, 7th line. I kept on working. I got to like 4 junior year. We had some great players on our team. We had number 8 in the country, Alex Kuhn, who went to Brown. Like, we had some very great people on our high school team. And then senior year, I became like varsity captain. I was like line number 2 or 3, and I was just looking to get better. And I didn't have any offers coming out of college. Well, I had like maybe 2, but it's like D3 NAI. And I had a decision. I got a full academic at TCU to either go to TCU or go to NAI Russ College, the oldest HBCU in Mississippi, on a full like for tennis. So I was like, I felt like the Lord was leading me at TCU. It's a great opportunity. Who would miss that? Who would pass up an opportunity? And I was like, maybe I can play tennis there. I reached out to Coach Radidi. I decided to go to TCU. I reached out to Coach Radidi, and I was like, hey, Coach. I was like, is there any possibility for me to walk onto team? I already have a full ride here. And he's like, no.
David.
Hey, obviously it's not, I hate saying no. Everybody that knows me, it's the hardest thing. And credit to you, Noah. You keep asking me every semester. It's like, maybe he'll say yes at some point. The way that athletics has changed with all the roster limits, it made it even more difficult for a situation like this. Nevertheless, you're still around the program, around the team.
Yeah.
You're currently working with the women's team.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is your official role with the women's team?
I'm currently a male practice player for the women's team, just helping out with practice, helping them get better, and that's the main role.
And you get reps.
Yeah, I get
and
a lot
you
of
get
reps.
some of the resources too, which is good, right?
Yeah, I get a little bit.
Yeah. What do you get? Do you
Yeah.
have access to? What do you have access to as a male practice player?
Right now, I just have access to the facility. Nothing more until Coach Lee said once I'm able to show that I can provide enough value to where now it's a bad look for them, where I feel it's like I'm giving more value than I'm receiving, then we can negotiate. But they said right now, just get the practice, and if you do well, let's say you beat all the girls and you show like that you're maybe content, you can do very good content for the team.
Good.
Then we can negotiate and give you more access, like PTs to the recovery rooms to the workout rooms.
Are you getting
everything.
gear? You got gear,
I
right?
haven't got gear yet.
You haven't? No? Okay.
He said he will. We'll see.
You'll
We'll
get
see.
some probably.
Man,
yeah.
tell Coach
Yeah,
Lee he's gotta,
Lee, come on.
he's gotta dish it out. Man, seriously.
Yes.
I'm sure the girls are really good, so you're getting to work on your game as well. So I know you're still pursuing playing D1. That is still correct. That is still the goal.
Yes, sir.
One day, I've heard you talk about being a professional tennis player. So the fire is there. The goal is still there, correct?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, just go ahead, Maho.
I think like one of the things that struck out to me at the beginning when you said the tennis was not the easiest sport for you. You were not naturally good at, but you like the challenge. So is that whenever you have a big challenge like that, is it what's the motivation?
Yeah. For sure. I would say probably just wanting to be the best version of myself. In high school and around COVID time, that's when everything shut down. And I wanted to I was very big on like self-help and all that. That was before I like rededicated my life to Christ. And I did a lot of things physical. Did the Murph challenge, which was like 2-mile run, 300 squats, 200 push-ups, and 100 pull-ups every day for 30 days. And just to challenge my mind and push myself. And I did that, and it allowed me like to know that I can do almost anything. And from there, that's when any challenge that I set for myself, I want to complete, whether it be playing volleyball, whether it be playing tennis, any other sport. I want to give 100% my all, and just any challenge. And knowing that if I can do it, then other people can do it, and being that source of inspiration for others. And that's one of the reasons why I started my social media. But yeah, just knowing that I can do anything I set my mind to.
It seems that you have a big why behind it. It's not just the sport itself. It's not just getting into a D1 program and playing tennis. It seems that you want to aspire, you want to motivate, and you want people to believe in themselves. But at the same time, that drive that you have is a skill that all athletes, good athletes, top athletes have, because competing against yourself every day, not only against your opponents, your teammates, and all that stuff, it's something that it can't never stop in your whole athletic career, correct? So I admire that from you, because from the first time I saw you, I think it was during indoors, the first time I saw you, you were there and you were approaching some of the players and asking them questions. And I was like, man, like he has something. He has something that he believes in something and he's putting himself out there, showing up. So I admire that a lot from you, Noah. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, how much better can you do than be the best, try to be the best version of yourself, right? I mean, that's incredible. That's an awesome mindset. I wish everybody would have that. I wish you're motivating me to have that mindset of do the best that I can be, who I am. Okay, so you have over 35,000 followers. I remember you posting when you got to like 10,000, then 20,000. Tell us about that whole journey. What have you learned throughout that journey? How, for those listeners out there, it's not easy to get to 35,000 followers. So tell us about all that. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, it was tough. I started, like, the reason why I started the journey because, one, I didn't have a lot of resources nor exposure coming to college. And I knew that if I kept on doing what I was doing, I would never get to my goal, never get to play for TCU, never get to play for D1 with the limited amount of time that I had. And so I knew that if I wanted something to change, I would have to start the change. So I started the social media also to get those exposure and the resources, but also to let people know that the journey, that if you put your mind towards something, if you keep on believing, if you have a reason why, and for my reason why was the Lord was leading me in this direction, then you can achieve anything. And just being consistent in the posting, just having the biggest thing that people love to see is a story. And if you have a great story for any athlete, your story is what's going to define your success. Because once people leave college, once athletes leave college, their NIL leaves them, their brand leaves them because they don't have a story that can be written on for the next few years. Instead, they just have it attached to success. And once they leave college and go to the pros, then the success is not always imminent or like immediate. And knowing to have a story, people can attach on to it, people can support, people will follow because they see a part of themselves in you. And I started that, and I mean, it's grown immensely, just consistency, just knowing how can I market myself better, how can I create a better story for myself, and how can I inspire others. And just through the consistency, I posted the daily journey. I figured out what works for me, and it was kind of like the vlog style daily stuff. And I did that for 500 plus days, almost pretty much every single day. Just posting. I right now have over like 580 videos out. And obviously some people can do one-hit wonders and have like a video that blows up 38 million views and they get already 100,000 followers from that. But not everybody has that luxury of just having one video blow up so easily. So I just put the consistent work in.
Yeah.
I had to learn from each mistake, each video, just how can I get better? How can I bring out a better product? How can I get other people to like the story even more, but also stay true to myself? And through that consistency, it's grown to 10,000. And then I got the sponsorship with Tourline, and then it grew to 15,000. And then I got the sponsorship with Babylon. And then I got opportunities with CVS, Giorgio Armani. Now it's like my name is getting known, and so I'm able to go to a lot of places, get opportunities. The U.S. Open, the NCAA media credential, or the Dallas Open, so many different places, are going to schools and clubs and being able to do interviews with players because they know who I am, and so they don't have their guard up. But that's just from the consistency, putting myself out there, and just seeing where it goes.
Yeah. And I think, one of the reasons we invited Noah here is because of his story. So it is true. It is true. It is something that, sparks an interest in people, and mostly they relate to you, right? Like a lot of kids that are in high school wanting to play D1, there's like the percentage is super small. I think it's less than 5% of all high school athletes that actually go and play Division I sports, right? Or it's very small, correct?
I think it's like
1%. Like Division I, yes, but I think like all divisions
college,
is like 5% college athletics
so low
overall. So but then it is really cool to see that you started like trying to be the best version of yourself in a certain sport, right? Tennis. So tennis was your avenue to get there. But now you're getting other opportunities like exposure, like entrepreneurship. I don't know, like you got to interview like all these pro players, so you're putting yourself out there, and more things are coming up because of your hard work. And I would say one of the biggest thing is consistency, and you've been consistent, so that's good.
Looking good. Is this all Giorgio Armani stuff? You're looking sharp, man.
Sharp.
It's actually
A lot of swag. Look at those shoes. They're awesome. No, it's not. So
no, this is actually from Goodwill.
Goodwill?
Goodwill.
Okay.
Goodwill, and then this is regular Perry Ellis belt, and then Stevie Adams shoes.
Yeah,
Good.
looking good. How about the watch? It's a
gift from my uncle BB.
awesome.
Wow.
Oh, you're looking good, man. You're looking
Yeah.
good. You got a lot of
Looking sharp.
swag. Maybe that's part of the whole followers. You're a good-looking guy. Now you have access to the women's team. Any love interest
Oh.
there? No.
David loves to be the
There's some cute
matchmaker.
girls
Though.
there on the tennis
tell you.
team. Come on.
I get.
Hey,
you can't admit it.
Lee's
huh?
gonna fire him.
I get.
Yeah, how's your Spanish? There's a lot of Spanish speaking girl.
Es muy poquito.
¿Hablas poquito?
Hablas
Sí,
poquito.
¿hablas con las chicas o no?
No sé. No sé.
Muy bien, no. Awesome, man. I love to catch you off guard a little bit. So you've interviewed all these pro players. Who's been your favorite pro player that you've interviewed or had the most success, or something you learned from?
Definitely when I went to Dallas Open, that was probably a great opportunity. I got to go to the court christening. That was just part of the influencer stuff. The court christening, and then I got some box seats and some club seats. And so through those opportunities, I met Taylor Fritz. That was awesome. Kim Kleisers. And then from there, I really went to get Francis Tiafoe. I've been watching him since I've been growing up a lot. So I think it was I wanted the opportunity. And since I saw him on the grounds, and since I didn't have a media credential, I went up to him. I was like, "Hey, can I get an interview real quick?" He was like, "Sorry, man, I gotta go." I was like, and he's like, "You can come in with me," but it was 2 access I didn't have,
Okay.
and so I couldn't come in. And I was like, "Man," what am I gonna do? So I went to the seats that the Dallas Open gave me, which was like the Choctaw Club upstairs. And so we were there, and then John Isner and Francis Tiafoe comes in to speak to the guests. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, okay. I was like, gotta lock in. And so, but it was only like public Q&As. It wasn't like individual. But they said you can get a picture. So they did public Q&As, and then John Isner took some pictures, Francis Tiafoe took some pictures. And since I want to do an interview, I can't just be the first in line and then take up everybody's time. And so I had to wait until everybody was done. And then when I waited, they're already walking out. I was like, oh my gosh. And I looked at the security guard, Kenny, and I looked at him. I was like, not in my head. I was like, can I get an interview? And he's like, I got you. And so when he's walking, he tapped Francis. He brought him around. He's like, hey, can I get a picture real quick or something? And so I went for the picture, and then I was like, hey, do you mind if mic in my hand, do you mind if I ask you a quick question? And he's like, sure. And so then I just brought out the question. I write all, like, for a lot of the top pros I know I'm interviewing, I have all my questions written down, and then I just have to make sure when the time comes I can speak it. So I said it, and then that video did pretty well. He posted on a story, and then the security guard, I'm connected with security guard now, and then his coach, Jordi Arconada. And so it was actually Jordi's birthday yesterday, but it was cool. So like just having that connection and just putting myself out there, even when. Yeah, but Francis Tiafoe was definitely like probably one of my favorite.
Man, if you had told me you didn't get that interview, I would personally contact him and tell him, hey, you gotta get this, man. Come on, Francis. Obviously, as a coach, I used to be a USCA national coach, so I got to know all those boys when they were younger, 10 years old, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I was gonna say that if you didn't get that, anybody out there that you're hoping to get, that one of your goals of the top players?
Yeah. Right now, I would say Carlos, maybe Coco. I saw Carlos at the Babel event in New York, but I wanted to get an interview, but since he has such a tight schedule, they would not let me.
Majo knows Carlos.
Yeah, we had a moment.
Majo, yeah, she gave him an unsolicited
Come on.
back rub, shoulder rub at Wimbledon at a restaurant. Just poor guy. He probably is.
Come
Was
on.
that when y'all were with PJ or something?
No, we were with Cam and Facu.
Yeah, we were with Cameron Nori. And
After Tiafo's match,
Okay.
actually. After
Yeah.
Cam played Tiafo.
we're at a restaurant, and Carlos walked in with his whole team.
Yeah.
And it's a really tight restaurant, so he had to walk really close to them. And Majo just couldn't resist the opportunity to wish him good luck. And in the meantime, give him like a 15-minute deep shoulder neck massage. Poor guy.
Come on. David puts me on the spot all the time. He loves making me uncomfortable. Hey, I don't regret it, you know. Now his champion yesterday, I was rooting for him 100%.
Yeah, obviously
US champion.
it didn't completely, give him mental health issues. He probably maybe liked it. Maybe you
I think he liked it.
him.
He was smiling. He was so nice. Yeah. Great guy, Carlitos Alcaraz.
Yeah.
Happy for you.
Imagine if I would have
Felicidades.
done that to some young,
Oh,
famous female cute tennis player. If I would have given her an unsolicited back rub, shoulder rub, I would be.
It'd probably be like
I'd be in jail,
like
probably.
the Emma Raducanu,
but
the stalker.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Restraining order.
Exactly. So, anyways, I had to get that in there.
Yeah, you
I saw my
did.
opportunity to embarrass Majo. So right now you're hitting with the women's team. You got 2 years left. It seems like this whole decision. Tell us about constantly having to decide between playing D1, that is your goal, but you are at TCU where you have a academic scholarship. You made that all summer. I saw you going to different campuses, talk to a lot of coaches. And this decision of, do I get my degree from a great university like TCU, or do I go somewhere where maybe the diploma is not as as reputable as TCU, but I get to play tennis? That keeps coming up. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. I hit the transfer portal this summer. I went well. I got like 15 college offers, 3 D1s, 3 D2s, and then NAIs, JUCOs, D3s. And so, like, I had some solid offers. I can go play, like, D1's obviously low end right now until I can get my rankings up. And it was like Southern University, HBCU D1, and they have a great conference. They play some very tough competition, but maybe the resources, the degree there is not high at all. And Prairie A&M, which their program just shut down.
Yeah.
And then
Good thing you didn't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was bad.
That's sad. It's sad, yeah.
And then Wagner, which is a great academic school, but they only offered me $20K out of $70K, so that wasn't an option. And then JUCO at TJC, which is the #1 JUCO in the nation, but going there, I'll lose my academic progress. I'm going from a junior, then going down to complete for.
Doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
make sense,
You're a
yeah.
great student.
Yeah.
And
It's not. It wasn't smart. Like, I had some other solid. Dillard University, top 15 NAI, Redlands College, the top
yeah, it's
20,
a great school.
and D3. Like, these are good opportunities for me to develop and get better. But at the same time, I knew that the place I'm at TCU for a reason. The Lord has given me the opportunity to be on a full academic here. And yes, it's hard deciding. I can literally go D1 right now and pursue all my dreams and goals, but at the end of the day, D1 is not the goal. It's just an opportunity and a stepping stone to the future, my future plans. And so I can't let the desire of today rob me of the joy for tomorrow and rob me of the things I set forth for myself just to say I made D1. And so that's a constant thing that I'm battling. But I do know that if I can graduate with TCU with my degree, if I want to play somewhere else for master's year, they also look at your academics. You graduate from a good top 25 in the nation business program at TCU.
Yeah.
You can probably get a good amount of your master's paid and maintain my good GPA. I can have the opportunity to go to even higher school, get less athletic, but also be able to get academics too, where it's a balance to where I can go play for a better school, maybe on the bottom lineup, but have my academics half paid for and my athletics pay for the rest.
This in your master's, getting your
For my
master's.
Getting your master's.
Yeah, it'd be like a
Yeah.
like a grad, what they call graduate transfer.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good plan.
Where is Noah going to be in 10 years?
The goal.
King Dion, yeah. Where are you?
The goal,
10 years from now or 5 years from now.
Yeah,
We don't have to go that far. 5 years from now, where
5
are
years. I would love. Obviously, I'd love to play on the tour. Like, obviously, the goal just honestly would be to play number 1 in the world. It's such an ambitious goal, but that's what I believe that I can do if I keep putting my work in, and the Lord's calling me in this direction. Just keep on pursuing it every single day. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think when I see like your whole story and how everything has, like that puzzle that has been just fitting, the pieces have been fitting, I see a lot of different pieces that you're juggling with, right? How do you balance all that up? Because you're saying the pursuit to be a D1 athlete, right? A lot of practices, conditioning, taking care of your body, your mind, recovery, sleep. Plus, you're a really good student in a really good school. You're part of the Neely School of Business, which is very demanding. I know because we have a lot of players that are in the business school, and it's not easy, right? Plus, you're creating all this content. Yeah. How do you balance? How does a day look like for you? I'm really curious about that.
It's definitely really busy right now. Like business school, tennis. I'm in the honors course, honors too, and like I have the biggest things: tennis, my faith, like going to church, serving. I have school, I have my workouts. I have the business that I'm creating right now, and then I have content. So that's 7 aspects I have to balance. And one of the biggest things.
No time for a girlfriend, David. No time.
Hey, we'll see.
Absolutely no time.
We'll see.
Absolutely no time.
You don't decide that. It just happens.
But balancing those things, it's definitely hard. And I talked to David earlier too about like saying that like he's like, if you want to be better at tennis, you're gonna have to have some sacrifices. Like if you want to play in this tournament, yes, you might not get all the work you want done. And just having that the idea and talking to a lot of other people is that there's at times not going to be a balance, and there's going to be certain seasons that require more of you than others. Like you're prepping for a tournament, you're prepping more for the tournament rather than doing more academics. You have tests coming up. Yes, you might do more academics and tennis, and just even seasons in your life. And so balancing right now, it's making sure content-wise, I was editing around 2.5 to 3.5 hours a day, which is a lot.
It's a lot.
And it got to a point where I'm editing longer than I'm practicing tennis. And if my goal is to play the highest level, then I got to keep the main thing. And so right now, like balancing everything, I know I can't hit every point of my goals every single day. So I have to make sure I'm balancing and spreading out throughout the week. I'm building a team for my social media and my business right now. I have a video editor. I have a social media manager. I'm delegating, I'm rebranding my social media content right now instead of all the daily journeys, which takes a long time to edit. Now I'm doing a lot more short form, a lot more personality content. Okay. Just having more of myself out there that's easier to edit, easier to clip up, and easier to post. And then making sure I'm working out 3 times a week instead of 6 days a week. I'm doing my tennis now, focusing directly on tennis, and everything else kind of is a little bit under that. But obviously the main thing that's above everything is my faith and my time with God. So it's just balancing everything.
Man, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you. No, that's just, it's motivating, very inspiring. Talk about a little about your tennis. I saw your forehand. I thought I could help you with that
Can
one
you?
day. Yeah, I can. I can.
Look at that.
I just,
it's on video.
We gotta find. You're a busy man. We said we gotta find the time, but
We're gonna do a video.
gotta get you a little more relaxed. You know, I feel like you're holding the racket a little tight there.
Coach Lee, told me a lot about that. He's like, you have the death grip right now.
Yeah,
and so I've
exactly.
been working on it. It's been getting a lot better, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like It's like you have a bird in your hand. You know, you don't want to just choke the bird, crush him. Yeah,
we
like
do that
little
same
Petey,
thing.
you know, in
Like
Dumb
an
and
egg or
Dumber.
something.
You remember little Petey and Dumb and Dumber? You know,
Yeah.
you want to hold them nice. So you have all these goals. You're balancing so much. You're 21 years old. 20?
20, yes, sir.
20 years
Just
old.
turned 20.
Anything you would one congratulate a 12-year-old Noah on? So you think back of Noah when he's 12, and anything you would congratulate Noah on, and anything you would sort of advise and do something slightly different.
12-year-old me. Then I was in 8th grade. Congratulate, I guess, just, I don't know. I'll congratulate myself. Maybe just.
A lot. There's a lot there.
Yeah, there's a lot
I
there.
can
No.
I can
As a
tell you 10
12-year-old.
minutes of it.
Yeah.
For a 12-year-old self, I was engaged in life, but I didn't like. I was still goal oriented, but I didn't really take enough things serious of where I want to be. I was still in the limbo. My parents actually got divorced when I was 10 years old, and so it was a period of time where it was like a balance and more so family affairs than like me focusing on my goals.
Correct.
And so as 12-year-old self, I was still trying to like figure things out. I was just focusing on academics, but yeah, it wasn't so much where I knew what I wanted to do. I had the goals, but I didn't have the actual execution of any of that. So I'll tell my 12-year-old self to figure out what you want to do in life and pursue it. But honestly, just probably to find God earlier. I'll probably be in a different place now, but I wouldn't change.
No, you're in a
anything.
good place.
I wouldn't change anything.
You still haven't answered my question. What would you congratulate your
What would I
12-year-old? Yeah, I'm not going to let you off the hook.
Oh, I congratulate me to just having a positive outlook on life. Like
Okay.
I was very, very bubbly. I was very extroverted. I was very, I was very like social, and so I think that's helped me become the person I am today. Just having that foundation of knowing how just to talk to people, but that's probably the only thing I can say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, what you do
100%.
is not easy to just
No.
go and put a microphone in front of TFO. Obviously, he said he couldn't do it a couple times, and you were relentless and having that personality of just getting in front of them, John Isner and Taylor Fritz, and coming in my office. That's a lot. Right there alone, it's awesome. Not everybody can do that. There are a lot of people out there that wouldn't have the courage or the personality or the skills to get in front of famous people like that. Good.
Yeah.
See,
No,
and there's
that's good.
way more. I mean,
I know.
your drive, your discipline, following your dream. I think that's very admirable. Very motivating for a lot of people out there. We have parents out there. We have student athletes that want to be in D1. Tennis-wise, tennis specific, you've noticed how hard tennis is.
Yes.
It really is. It's a tough sport. There's so many parts to it.
Yes.
Anything that you wish you unfortunately resources are part of tennis. Tennis lessons are not expensive. They are expensive, so they're not cheap. They're expensive. So, but anything, do you wish, I guess I'll just ask, do you wish you had found, you talked about finding God earlier, and also spend more time playing tennis at a younger age? Do you feel like you got a little bit of a late start?
Yeah, I definitely had a late start. I didn't really start playing year-round until freshman year, 13 years old. And I actually did only 3 UTR tournaments all of high school.
Yeah,
And
that's just not enough. Right.
Like 3 tournaments on the span of 2 years. It's just not enough at all. I had maybe 5 lessons in my high school career. So it's like yes, I wish obviously I had a lot more resources in that regard, and I knew more of what I needed.
Yeah.
Because then I'll be able to advocate a little bit more for myself in that type of regard. I knew that I had the ability to ask, like I'll ask people, hey, can you give me a lesson or whatever it is, but I didn't know what I needed. I was ignorant to what it took to actually be good at tennis, and that's only started being here, which is a very, very late start. We're coming to college 17, 18 years old and wanting to pursue such a high goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, I wish I had a little more access, like not even access to resources. I just wish I knew earlier what it took, and then I'll be a little bit more proactive.
Yeah,
going
and
after
the
it.
reason I bring that up is because I get those emails. I get an email. I got one this morning from a kid from Egypt that it's like an 8 UTR, still has a year to go, but it's in tennis. It's really hard to go from an 8 UTR to a 13 UTR in 1 year, as you know. It just takes so many skills. So those parents, if tennis is a sport that has so many skills with the technique, the amount of repetition that you need to be able to control that little fuzzy ball wherever you want it, to be able to handle the speed and also make decisions on the go, how fast things are happening. So many. We just had an expert who's dealt with Dr. Mark Kovacs, and he thinks tennis is the toughest, hardest, no offense to beach volleyball, but the toughest sport in the world. It really is. And it actually worries me. Go ahead, Majo.
But also I think like what Noah's saying about playing earlier, like playing more tournaments and getting his ranking up, that's for any sport, right? Because sometimes I see like when we get emails as well from beach volleyball players, young of them. I work with other sports as well right now that I'm not in college athletics. They're waiting for the perfect moment to start playing more. And I'm like, you need to put yourself out, because when you're competing, you actually can see what's the level out there. And also you get your rankings up, right? Not all the sports have individual rankings, but yes, you need to be playing tournaments. You need to be practicing, and it's a balance, and you have to put yourself out there as soon as possible. And I see that's one of the things that you would have done differently.
Yeah, I would say every guy on our team, what you said you did in high school, they did it by age 7. Yeah. The amount of balls you hit, the amount of tournaments, the amount of competitions you had all throughout high school, they already had it by 7, 8 years old. So it doesn't mean anything. I love your journey, and I believe that you're already experiencing all the benefits and the success that is coming out of this whole journey. And we talk a lot about, there's not a book out there that doesn't talk about you, men of faith. It's about of faith. It's about the journey, right? You may or may not get to D1. You may or may not get to number 1 in the world, maybe even an ATP point at some point. But it's the journey that you are getting so much out of it, becoming who you are, and the approach that you have taken to your tennis, to your brand. I'm still waiting for a logo, a K and a D, King Dion logo. That's next. I'm sure you've thought about it, but all those lessons that you're learning through your journey is forming who you are, and the approach that you've taken. The approach that you're taking, it doesn't matter whatever you apply it to. The next time, there's no doubt in my mind you're going to be in a good place. Yeah. 10 years from now, you said, Coach, I'm going to be kicking butt. I don't know what I'll be doing, but I'll be kicking butt.
Yeah, and what you're doing with the content too, like we started this for fun as well, like in January, February. Man, like we're at the U.S. Open, we're at Wimbledon, and we need to get content out. It's so hard, like to get the time and to get the courage of like, okay, let's take a video here, like really quick, let's do something. So it's a lot of work. We see it. So we admire you because of that, because it's not easy being consistent and putting yourself out there. I want to ask you about your faith. Yeah. I really like that, and I admire that as well. I actually did a podcast series a long time ago, probably like 9 years ago, 10 years ago. It was called Empowered with Faith.
That's good.
And I think you are empowering others with your faith in yourself. So tell us about how all that started. Yeah,
for sure. My dad was a pastor for a good part of my life, and so I was already exposed to a lot of the faith. My mom was involved in the church, and so I grew up knowing God, but I didn't know really what it took to actually be a child of God. And so I learned the basic components, basic scriptures, basic praying, and wanting to see God for myself, but I didn't know what it looked like fully. I didn't hear the voice of God. I didn't have a great community around me to push me to be better, and so I lived my life and ended up falling more into the world of what the world can offer, like sin, lust, greed, all those type of things that you can easily get caught up in. And senior year, that's kind of when it was the worst of me just indulging in what the world has. And I knew that the Lord wanted to do something bigger in my life, but I didn't know exactly what. I wanted a purpose. I felt more numb because I was doing a lot of good things, but it didn't fulfill me. It satisfied me in the moment, but it didn't actually fulfill the desire I knew that was in my heart. And coming to college, I wanted something different. And I met a guy in fraud camp that kind of preached the gospel again to me and saying, like, there's so much more that the Lord has for you, but you have to make a decision to seek him. You can't just keep living your life and be fulfilled. Like, there's so much more that the Lord has an assignment for every single one of us, and it's our decision to seek after him. He's not going to force us. He's a gentle God. And when I heard that, and I knew that I didn't want to waste another second of my life chasing after something that would not fulfill me and trying to do something on my own strength when the Lord is there to walk with me. And so I made that decision. I rededicated my life. I got baptized. And since then, the numbness I had from my parents' divorce, moving across families time and time again, not actually having a foundation, that was taking away my desire for lust with women and all this type of stuff. It was a long process, but through constant killing my flesh, fasting, praying, seeking the Lord, serving, understanding what he actually wants for my life. And I learned to be fulfilled through him, not the things of this world. And that has changed my whole life, with knowing that this is what the Lord is calling me to, knowing tennis is what he's calling me to. Maybe I don't know exactly how the future holds all the time, but I know for sure that he's giving me this platform as a ministry to other people and to share my story, to motivate and inspire others that they can do anything with God, knowing that the place I'm in is my ministry, knowing that the sphere he's putting me in is an opportunity to give him glory. It doesn't matter where I go to. And yes, he gets glory in the results, but he also gets glory in the process. And I know that if I continue doing what I need to do and putting it first, I mean, he has called me toward this. He has given me a prophecy where I'm going to be, and all I got to do is just keep on working, being a good steward, as long as I'm surrendered, as long as I'm seeking him, and as long as I'm doing everything in my power every single day to get close to that goal, I'll get there. But that's probably it changed my life when I said yes.
Good. And it's interesting what you shared about you kind of like reconnecting or actually feeling that communion with God when you got here to college. And some parents think like they're scared that their kids are going to college because they have more choices and they could be like bad choices, right? Or different influences, the environment, all this stuff. But I've seen a lot of what you've been through some of the girls from our team as well. And they come to college and there's like some emptiness and some loneliness being surrounded by all these new people, that they seek that faith and connection with God again, and they find a community. They find people that guide them, or they say something that actually clicks. So I really like that when you said that, because I've seen it.
I mean, even when I came to college, I kind of wanted that college experience, but I wanted to like indulge those things, but literally, I mean, the Lord snatched me up before it happened, and if I would have gone down that road, it probably would have been a rabbit hole, honestly.
Yeah. Coach Lee Walker is a man of faith. Yes, I'm sure I don't know if you've had conversations with him about it, but he can have some great conversations. Myself, not so much. One day maybe. My brother's actually a minister, or was a minister for 25 years. So I'm like the black sheep of
No, you're
of
not
the
the
fam.
black sheep. You're great.
But anyways, what would you say before we finish here? No, and thanks. It's been great. It's great to get to know the inside what's in your head. What advice would you give to parents out there 14-year-old boys, girls pursuing anything. Could be a D1, could be anything at all. But you're living it. You're, as you told us in this whole podcast, how driven you are. What advice would you give out there to those parents and kids, or anyone?
Yeah, probably two things. One, know your reason why. Like, you had to know why, what you do, because when the time comes where you're faced with adversity and your back is against the wall, that reason why is going to get you out of there. A lot of people do things without knowing why they're doing things or what's the purpose of doing it. But for me, that reason why was to give glory to God. So it doesn't matter me getting injured, me failing out a tournament multitude of times, me getting told no a lot of times. I know that my reason why is bigger than all my circumstances. And number two is that you have to have that confidence and belief that you can do it. Like tennis, it's a lot of confidence. If you believe that you can do it, obviously it might not be immediate, but that confidence is going to seep into your actions, and you believing in yourself every time. It doesn't matter if what other people have told you. You have different circumstances, you have a different life, and you can change your destiny. And that's kind of what Julian Alonso, his dad, told me. I mean, he started age at 16, and he made it to 30 in the world in the 90s for tennis. Like, of course, like it's a very rare story, but that's because he told me that he believed in himself even when nobody else did. And he continued working. He put that time in. He became obsessed with the sport to where nothing anybody can tell him would stop him. And he proved that point. And I want to do the same. And for parents, any child, that if you have the reason why, and if you have the confidence and belief that it doesn't matter where you go, you can depend on either somebody bigger than you, like God, or depend on yourself in those situations, you can change your life, honestly.
Yeah.
Know your purpose and belief.
Yeah. And I think, like, for parents out there and athletes, sometimes getting to that why is the hardest thing, because you don't know exactly what it is. So in my case, was asking myself every day, what do I really, really want? Because I knew there was a fire. I knew there was something in there all the time that I wanted to accomplish, I wanted to achieve, I wanted to prove myself, I wanted to prove others. But what was it and why? Yeah. So asking that question, and maybe the answer is not going to be there, or it's not going to be clear, but you're going to have a feeling, you have an instinct, and just kind of following and listening to your heart, listening to God, listening to actually what your true self needs and wants, right? So sometimes there's a lot of distractions that don't allow us to pinpoint what our heart is craving for, right?
100%.
Noah King Dion, thank you so much.
He needs to ask a question to us too.
Oh, yeah, we're making all our guests ask us a question.
Collectively or individually?
And it can't be.
It could be both.
It can't be
one.
Can you be on the tennis team? You've already
so
asked
you have
me
a
that
chance
times.
to ask us a question.
You can ask me at the end of the next summer again. That's okay.
Yeah, it could be David. It could be me. It could be both. It could be whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you're curious about.
I don't think I can't even be on the team anymore, since I'm a malpractice player. You lose all your eligibility to play for TCU.
Oh, okay.
Ever.
That's right. That's right. You had to make that decision.
Yeah. That's why I came to ask you the last time, because
that's right.
Just making sure.
Last chance, yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I would say this: like, y'all being at the pinnacle of college sports, each winning a national championship, and living life after that. How do you maintain your identity in yourself rather than the sport, especially when you get the opportunity to be the best at what you do, but realize that there's a lot more in life outside of just the college sports?
That's a very good, deep question. I like it. You want to go?
Maybe you should have a podcast.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Majo. You start.
I would say for me is that I'm reinventing myself every day, and I'm learning about myself every day. As a previous athlete, a lot of my identity was tied to my sport. And I think I've learned the hard way, when you feel empty and hollow, and when you're injured, or those kind of things, or you stop playing, you retire. As a coach, you love that dopamine high of winning, or like your athlete is getting something right, that stuff like that. But then I do believe that I have a bigger purpose as well, and I want to impact more people, more young athletes, and I want to, for me, my calling is support athletes not only on the challenge of being great, but in for finding purpose and well-being, practicing the sport they love. So that's bigger than myself.
That's good.
Yeah.
I have a follow-up question after Radi shares.
Yeah, I would say I'm very fortunate to have been raised. My two parents. It was never about the winning, never about the titles. I've been lucky. I don't think my identity has ever been attached to my tennis. Maybe it's because I'm 5'6" and had absolutely no expectations. No one ever put that on me, that burden. Anything I ever achieved as a tennis player was like a little circus act that people are like, oh my God, look at that little guy. He just beat a guy that's a lot bigger than him. And so that helped me just always have balance. I don't see myself as a tennis coach per se, or a college coach. My kids are more important. My relationships are more important. It's not about the titles. Devin Baldwin is a great partner when it comes to keeping things in perspective. So I've been lucky. This whole podcast is an example of, we're doing it for fun. We're learning from Sam, learning from you. And I believe that something will come out of it. And if not, we'll learn something in the journey, just like you are. So those lessons, I've paid a lot of attention to successful people that have lost perspective. You see greats that hit that empty feeling, and without naming names, you see all these great people that achieved everything they could possibly achieve as an athlete, but then their lives are a mess once they quit playing tennis and they can't live without it. So I pay a lot of attention to that. I've seen coaches win national championships in tennis and completely fail in life and be miserable and borderline whatever, in jail or in suicidal or whatever. It's so I pay a lot of attention to that. I heard Tiger Woods once say that you can learn a lot from the mistakes that others make, and I paid more attention to that than I do what it helps somebody be successful. Long answer.
That's really
But
good.
thank you. Great question.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Every day I remind myself of that.
That's good. I guess I was just going to say, like, one last thing in that regard. Like, a lot of times, like, one of the biggest, I guess, awakening calls to me is, like, of course, chasing after success is amazing. But also, when you're not hitting your success points, your goals for yourself, are you going to be disappointed? Are you going to be, like, not fulfilled? Like, that's where it's like, if your success is dependent on you achieving your goals, then a lot of times you're not going to enjoy the process because you're not always going to have your goals.
Absolutely. And Coach Center, who's a great mentor of mine, you're getting to know him here at TCU. He just wrote a book, and breaking serve. And he talks a lot about standards versus goals. Goals are very result-oriented, but standards are more about the process. You could switch a word like standards for excellence. And you're a perfect example of someone that is living through excellence. You are doing the best that you can every day. You wake up and be the best version that you can be, knowing that through this process, you're becoming who you are, and all this success, it's the journey, that process, those standards that are going to make you successful, not whether you actually get to play D1 or become number one in the world. And as long as you keep remembering that, that's, to me, that is one of your best of all. You have a lot of great traits. Oh no, your parents must be so proud. It's that process that you got to remember, just the standards that you live by. You're a great example of that. If our whole team was like that, we may have a chance to get another title. I believe we have the right team. The one that to come out their own way, but it's just anybody in the world. That's, you're living it. You don't even have to ask it. You're actually doing it, and you're an example of that.
Thank you.
Sorry, you got me. Awesome. Now, well, it's been great. Follow King Dion. If you're listening to us, you already follow him because he's way more famous and popular out there. We're the lucky ones to have King Dion on Instagram. Great story, great journey, fun journey, not just for kids, but for parents, for student athletes. Thank you so much for joining us.
It was great to get to know you more and your why. And I think we're going to leave this episode with, just something burning in our hearts to keep pursuing our why and do what we're doing in the best way possible. Thank you, Noah.
Thank
really
you so
like
much.
it.
So with that, from the courts
to the sand. This is D1 Coaches Pod. See you in the next set.
Don't forget to like us, follow us. What else?
And subscribe.
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 There you go.
There we go. See, you're professional right
Comment,
there.
subscribe. Yeah,
Awesome.
there you go.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Noah.